So you want to take better Instagram photos of yourself. If you are a one-person team and you are shooting all of your Instagram photos by yourself, for one, just give yourself a pat on the back because that is so hard to do, especially if you're one of those people that can actually shoot their own Instagram photos in public. Kudos, man, kudos. I have only done a few of those and I am terrified. But in this video, I want to talk about how you can take better Instagram photos of yourself by yourself. And the first thing we need to talk about is your equipment. Hold up. Before we really get into today's YouTube video, I want to let you guys know that this video is in collaboration with Cassie from Explore Horizons. And on her channel, she is sharing a video talking about how you can edit and schedule your Instagram photos to create a cohesive feed. Now, guys, as you already know, Instagram is not just about taking amazing photos. You could take high quality photos, but not still grow on the Instagram platform. So you definitely want to make sure that you check out her video, like it while you're there, subscribe to her channel, and finish watching this video first. So let's go ahead and get into it. You don't really need that much equipment to shoot your own Instagram photos, but first and foremost, obviously you are going to need a camera, whether that is a DSLR or your phone. These days, iPhones have really, really great cameras, and some of my Instagram photos are honestly taken from my phone, but most of them are taken from my DSLR. Whether you are using a real camera or your phone, you are definitely going to need a tripod. You're coming with me. If you are using a phone, then you want to have a mount for your phone. Then something you can get is a remote. So this is a remote for an iPhone, and I also have a remote for this camera. It makes my life so much easier because I don't have to do it based off the timer, so I don't have to wait 10 seconds. I think this is 10 seconds. It clicks so much before it takes a photo, but I don't have to wait for the self timer. Just whenever I am ready, I can click this button and a photo will instantly snap. You will also, of course, need a memory card, and then this is just an extra little thing if you want it, but this is a converter for a memory card, hold on, to your phone. So I can download all of the photos from my camera right to my phone for editing. And then of course, you can't forget lighting. If you want, you can purchase lighting equipment. Can you even see that? It's massive, but that would really only be useful if you're shooting photos within your own house. So what I would recommend is use natural lighting. You don't want to turn on the lights in your house because that warm light is so much harder to edit, but shooting by a window or shooting outside in natural lighting is best. But you want to make sure that you're shooting at the right time of day. When you are shooting inside your house, it is okay to shoot at just about any time. Honestly, it depends how close you are to the window and if you have any harsh light on you. But if you are shooting outside, you want to shoot on days where it's cloudy or overcast. That way you don't have any harsh shadows on your face. You definitely do not want to shoot outside when it is at its brightest, let's say noon, and it is a sunny day, and you've got that harsh nose shadow, you know, where it kind of makes you look like you have a mustache. I mean, avoid that at all costs. And I'm sure you've probably already heard of golden hour. So shooting first thing in the morning, right at sunrise, or shooting at night right before sunset. That is when the light is the most diffused and it will make you kind of look sun-kissed and beautiful. Guys, I would never ever take an Instagram photo like this. I mean, for one, I'm still in my workout clothes, my hair's not done, my face isn't done, and I'm not wearing clothes that make me feel confident. I follow the look good, feel good mentality. If I do not look my best, I certainly won't feel my best. And that means I'm not going to be confident in my Instagram photos. And to take better Instagram photos of yourself, I think it is so important to feel confident in the way that you look and the way that you are dressed. Now let's talk wardrobe. Not you, not you, not you, not you, not you. I don't know. You need to wear something that you look good in, and this is going to be different for every single person. If you think you look better with something that is less form-fitting, then wear that. If you think you look better with something that is more cinched in at your waist, make sure that you have a belt or something that cinches in at your waist. You guys know that my typical wardrobe is a t-shirt and jeans, and most of my Instagram photos are obviously in those clothes. But the problem with graphic tees and just t-shirts in general are that they tend to be a bit boxy. They're not as form-fitting, so depending on the angle that I'm shooting my Instagram photo, it doesn't really look the best. So one thing I like to do, I like to knot up my shirts in the front, or I like to give, I think it's called a French tuck, where I just tuck in a little bit of my shirt in the front, and that way it fits my body a little bit better, and it just looks a little bit nicer in my photos. Practice poses in the mirror. And guys, I am not kidding about this, especially if you are someone who is shooting photos in a public place. Having poses on hand will make it a lot easier for you to get this shot the first time instead of having to run through a million different poses, a million different photos, because you don't really know what looks good. Now, recently I've been trying to shoot more candid photos, more photos that are in the moment, that almost seem a bit more real, if that makes sense. I think poses are great, and practicing your poses in your mirror it's important to understand your angle and the options that are available to you. But I think sometimes poses can look rigid, they can look rough, and they can look unrelatable. I want to get a look inside your life, your day-to-day life, what you're doing. I want to get that motion shot, even if it's not real motion. You know, like if I am shooting a photo, I want like a picture of me drinking my matcha, working on my computer. I like those photos because then it's like I'm inviting someone in behind the scenes and they're getting a real look at my life. So if you're sick of doing pose after pose, work with your environment and use props. It will make it seem more natural and more relatable. Oh yeah, and guys, trick of the trade, to do a coffee shot, you don't need coffee. And don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. If you are stuck doing like the Instagram, like fierce face, or maybe like a little like smize, you know? Smize. I just used smize in a video. Okay. If you are stuck doing the same Instagram baddie poses with your face, don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. So for me, I'm typically a bubbly person. I've got a very expressive face and I make very weird faces. Like when I see the thumbnail recommendations for my YouTube videos, I'm like, why did I ever make that face in a YouTube video? I like to use my cameras as props and I like to have a little bit of fun with them. So I will like pose with them, or I'll reach out, or I like make funny faces. So I will like smile with my tongue, or I'll like wink, or I'll do something fun and different to let my personality shine through, which really helps to make you stand out. So if you want to stand out on Instagram, I'm telling you, this is gonna set you apart. Oh, I think that's so crooked. Better? If you would have asked me a couple of months ago the best angle to shoot your Instagram photos of yourself, I would have told you it would be torso height. So you know, typically when you're taking a photo of someone else, you're on vacation, you would shoot from up here. You wouldn't squat down or do anything crazy. You would probably just shoot from where you were standing and just snap a photo real quick. But for Instagram photos, especially if you want to look taller, you want to shoot down a little bit lower. So shoot at torso height, meaning shoot at your chest, or a bit lower. I like to shoot like belly button sometimes, especially if I've got my legs in the shot. It makes your legs look really, really long. But one thing that I have learned over the past few months is to just shoot at whatever angle you think looks best. I think I'm gonna end up dropping it. So sometimes I will shoot my Instagram photos with the camera down low and I'll be interacting with it and be like up ahead. I love those photos. I've also taken photos when it's more so up high and I am either laying down or doing something different. I don't really know, something that's a bit lower, you know? But most of the time my go-to is just torso height. So don't be afraid to mess around with your angles and figure out what angle looks best on you. Long leading lines will become your best friend. You wanna make sure that you are not boxing yourself up too much in your Instagram photos or doing something that just like, it just doesn't look good, you know? Like if I sit like this, I would never share an Instagram photo like this because it's too, let me show you, okay? When I move simply like this, oh my goodness, the difference. I have this long leading line going here and then that extends to this line going here, which directly points you to my face. It draws more attention to my face and it guides the eye through the image. It just looks nicer compared to like being in a ball and boxing yourself up. If you space yourself out and work with what you got, honey, I'm telling you, it will make a world of a difference in how you look in your Instagram photos. You also want to pay attention to how it's cropping your body. So let's say I'm in a pose, something like this, and it is cropping here, okay? So it is cropping right below the knee and you don't get to see my shin or my feet. That is a very, very awkward crop and it's not going to make you look the best. So if it looks like you should have your full body in the shot, have your full body in the shot. But if you cannot get your full body in the shot, some things to consider, try to crop above the knee, not below the knee. So if you are at this weird spot, maybe you've shot an Instagram photo and it's cropped right here, make sure that you bring up the crop to up here or maybe even closer to your hips. And then if you have to crop somewhere between your knee and your main chest area, you want to crop either above your waist or somewhere in the center down here a little bit closer to your knee. You never want to crop here because this just general area, it's just gonna look a little bit weird, so try to crop above your waist or significantly below your waist but above your knee. And as a general rule of thumb, never crop out your feet, never crop out your hands, and never just decapitate yourself like this. Try to incorporate a little bit and it will make a difference. You'll start to learn where you can crop your images and where you shouldn't crop your images once you start paying attention to them. And the very last tip I have for you is don't be afraid to shoot a million photos of yourself. I'm telling you, sometimes my photo shoots, guys, I take 80+ images of one specific shot and I get one good photo out of it. One of those has to be good. Let's see. It happens when you're shooting by yourself. You don't really know what looks good on the other side of the camera. So don't be afraid to take a million shots to get the one shot that's going to work. And that is it for today's YouTube video. So go out there, start taking some photos, start experimenting with these strategies, and don't get yourself down if you notice that an angle works for someone else and it doesn't really work for you. The more you take photos of yourself, the better you are going to get. So just start practicing taking those photos, share the good ones, and keep on chugging along. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel while you were down there. I also included Cassie's video in the description bar down below, so make sure you check that out as well. And I also have a variety of different resources about Instagram, how I edit my Instagram photos, how I created my own Lightroom presets, how I take my own Instagram photos if you don't want to take selfies of yourself. I have got all of those resources included in the description bar down below as well. So that is it for me. I will see you guys back here in another one really soon. Bye, guys. What is in my shirt there? It would not be a YouTube video if my dog was not walking around pacing and crying now, would it? Use up the space around you. What can I do with these arms though? These days iPhones take really great cameras and I take really good cameras. You just have to laugh.